Hey there, this is Tim at Paragon Partners, and this is 5 oddball things to sell on eBay or my best gems. These are items where when I'm able to get the item, I found the best profit that I've made. Like you, I probably watched a lot of videos on what to sell on eBay, and overall, of course, I find these videos useful, and I've noticed, of course, some consistent themes in them, some differences. And while these videos, while they all have good items, I wouldn't say every one of them is a great seller, but overall they do provide beneficial information. The first item that I found that sells really well on eBay is printer trays. What happens, of course, people, they get the printers and they end up breaking the printer tray, and of course they don't want to buy the whole new printer again. And I've gotten up to 30 bucks on some of these printer trays. The key is that the printer tray, it has to have a model number on it that you can look up, because if it's just generic without any markings, you don't know if it's Canon, Sony, HP, Panasonic, or whatever, and you don't even know which printer it goes to. I found that these printer trays are going to have like 2 to 3 model numbers, and usually you can go ahead and get them Googled up and get them going and find the right one. But printer trays, when I can get them, do well. Second is expired medicines. Now, of course, you need to be careful on eBay anytime when you're selling medicines, and specifically, of course, you can't sell prescriptions, but I have found medicines that are past their expiration date but still have their efficiency about them. So a lot of times, clinics and hospitals, they get medicines which are expired so they can no longer use them, but of course, they're still good medicines. So easy analogy is, say, food, which is past its expiration date, but it's still very consumable. Now, like I say, you have to look this up to see if you can sell it on eBay, but a lot of times people, they're going to eBay to buy medicines because they want to save money, and these expired medicines generally cost 30 to 50% less than if they were to buy it non-expired. So for certain people, these medicines provide a great savings, which is very helpful to them. Like I said, you got to be careful to see if you can sell the medicine, because you can't sell prescriptions, obviously. But other times, expired medicines, when I've been able to get them, have been a great profit for me. The third one is vintage microscopes. New ones do well too, but I've found a lot of money in the used ones. And the key is that the microscope, it needs to have a powered light source. That is, you can't have a little mirror on the bottom trying to reflect light into the microscope. Rather, the light has to come from a light bulb or some other powered light source, and then you can do well. A lot of kids, of course, get these for science projects, and they're very easy to sell. One of the bummers, of course, is you have to make sure that you package it well, but as long as you can do that and get a hold of the microscope, they're an easy sell. The fourth one is vintage computers. Now, when I mean vintage computers, I don't mean like the old clunkers of the 90s. I mean the earlier ones. Anything before IBM PC started to take over, which is about 1984 and earlier. And specifically, if I can get them in the 70s, those do great. So I've sold old Commodore 64 disk drives. I just picked up an Apple IIe. I paid about 25 bucks for it, and I sold it for over 200. And other computer peripherals, the old software, that does well. And also, you want to think about it, but the old monitors that go with the computer, those also do very well, because people, they want the complete original vintage setup. So if you can buy these old vintage computers, they can definitely sell very, very well on eBay. And then the last one is the secret box sets. Now, back in 2000, this whole, I guess, self-improvement movement came to prominence based upon The Secret. And The Secret was just basically positive thinking, that you can visualize your own success. Now, of course, you can go ahead and debate that, but people, they really want this material. And it doesn't have to be from The Secret. There are practitioners of The Secret as well, such as like Bob Proctor. And it's not so much the books by themselves, but if you get the box sets or the box sets with CDs and workbooks, then those sets do really, really well. I think the best item I ever bought on an ROI basis, just by itself, one time I bought a secret box set. I got it for $1 at a thrift store, and get this, they're having the 20% off books and CD sales. So I paid 80 cents for this box set, and on eBay I sold it for 110 bucks. And boy, if I could turn 80 cents into 110 bucks consistently, I'd be a very, very rich man. But getting one of these sets was the best ROI I've ever had, and consistently I've done very well. So these are 5 items that I hope you haven't considered before that you will now think about selling on eBay. Cheers.